G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a microgun. It's not grown into a full minigun yet, but this small fry can still pack a lot of punch. What you're looking at here is a mishmash of vanilla assets all retooled and recreated into a standalone weapon with a little bit of customization too. The sounds and reload animations are that of the assault rifle and minigun respectively, so it's all vanilla stuff, so we won't have to worry about having to listen to this thing to show off the cool sounds there, because we already know what these sound like. We're playing Fallout 4, and it's been out for, what, almost 10 years now. Anyways, so let's get into the attachments. First of all, we've got the barrels. Right now we've got a long tri-barrel. There's also versions of this barrel which have 6 barrels, so the hex barrel there will increase your fire rate but decrease your damage per shot. There's a light hex barrel down here which won't actually penalize you for your damage, but the fire rate will be slightly less. The light versions, you'll find the fire rate's a little bit less than what you'd find out of just the standard ones, but there's a little bit of weight reduced, there's extra accuracy and extra range for your trouble, so I'm pretty sure that's a pretty superior barrel. I don't think you're going to miss out on a whole lot of DPS by having a small rate of fire change. There's also a short version if you want to use this thing a little bit in VATS and really put the micro and microgun really concealable. You could probably sneak this into a New Vegas casino at this point, but that's an option. Obviously your range and accuracy aren't going to be good, so you're gonna have to be using it at point blank range, so bring your power armor, I guess, before you get chainsawing everyone. But that's an option. What I'm going to do for now is going to chuck on the highest damaging barrels here, the long light tri-barrel version. Now right now I've got 5.56 loaded in here. You can load this thing with 38s, which will increase your fire rate, or you could put 308s in it, which will increase your damage and decrease your fire rate. For going all-out damage, the 308s is the best thing to give you, and I don't think they add that much recoil to the thing. Using this compared to the Modern Warfare minigun I had yesterday, it's actually fairly easy to control despite being a weapon that's firing 308s that fast, which would usually send you into the ground pretty quickly, or send the weapon muzzle pointing towards the moon. If it was directly above you, of course. And you can actually put a suppressor on this. You don't actually get any benefits from Ace Operator, and I'll just double check that I've got that perk in a second to make sure that's a thing, but you might be able to use it with a sneaky playstyle. We still might be able to get a whole lot of sneak criticals with it. I feel like it possibly is overkill, but we're going to try it out. We're going to try out a suppressed rotary barrel. I probably won't ruin the suppressors in the first 2 seconds of firing the thing. Also, legendary effect is there if you want it. Funnily enough, explosive again does just increase the damage by a substantial amount, but we're going to show a little bit of restraint. We've actually got motors here. We can change that. So it has got a high speed motor, will cost you fire rate. It'll give you fire rate in the cost of damage, kind of like the barrels that we saw a little bit earlier with the Hex variant. Or you can have a fire control, which will lower the rate of fire, but increase the accuracy and give you better critical shot damage and accuracy. Interesting, right? So if you want to use this thing in VATS, short barrel with the fire control module here, I think would be the way to go. What I'm going to do is going to leave this on the standard motor. We're going to have a Hexa barrel with a high speed motor though, so don't you worry. And right now we've got a standard frame. You can lighten that up to reduce the weight of this thing at the cost of damage, or basically do the opposite, make it heavier but do more damage. We're not worried about weight. We've got a very strong character to use, so we've got plenty of space to utilize anyway. And lastly, we get to the receivers, which is usually first. We're going to crank that all the way up to overpowered receiver. That gives us a much more respectable 241 damage out of a weapon with a high fire rate, a high magazine size, no scopes, but it's a micro gun, so that's fine. That's our first micro gun. I'm going to create a couple more of these, and then we can get started. Okay, so here we are outside of the Fort Hagen satellite array, and before I can show you the weapon, I'm already being rudely interrupted by explosive bullets to my face. But this here is the micro gun in first person right here, and there's a little bit of barrel rotary going on here. But there's a reason I came here, and I'll show you in a second. But yeah, as you can tell, this thing does have the same sort of firing sounds as a assault rifle, which I guess makes sense because, you know, this thing's got to have the suppressed sounds along with it, and I think the suppressed sounds for this thing work pretty well using the standard vanilla stuff that we've got. We'll stand into the light because I want to quickly show you what this thing looks like in third person as well. It's like a minigun, but slightly more compact, a little bit more portable. Probably doesn't need power armor to carry this thing around, but the reason I come all the way out here is because, you know, it's a Salvaged Sentry bot weapon, right? And where would you find technophires that love pulling apart robots? Well, you would find them here, and if you're lucky, some of them may even drop the weapon for you. This guy's even got 2 of them, just to get my point across. Thanks, mate. You'll find the first of the uniques actually inside the facility, right at the end where the reward chest is, next to the Skyrim door here. You just find it on the ground in the form of a drone cannon. This is the place where you usually find the Assaultron head and the Buzzsaw blade, and I think the Assaultron blade as well. Just sitting in the box for you, just in case you haven't picked them up off the rust levels yet. But there's a drone cannon, so we'll have a look at that for just a second. So it looks like it's just a one-shot big plasma cannon drone thing, just like you'd find back in Mothership Zeta. Operation Zeta doesn't exist. And you charge it up, and it fires a plasma ball, which goes off like a plasma grenade. So that might be pretty cool for just laying down a lot of suppressive fire. I'm thinking here what you'll want to do with it is use it in VATS just to cut out all of that extra reload time. The second of the uniques we'll find with this mod is located at a place called Federal Ration Stockpile. That's where it is on the map. Sanctuary Hills is up here, so it's not even that hard to get to. We've just taken the rear entrance, which is like easier to get to from Vault 111 compared to this. You'll find it just in the Lonely Chapel, and there's not a whole lot of extra fighting, and I don't think the back door is even locked. I think it's just open to go to, but you'd have no reason to go through there under normal circumstances anyway. So you've probably just heard Red Tourette there. She's carrying the unique on her, and fun fact about her, she has a sister. There's the unique, by the way. It's Pow Pow. It's a explosive microgun, very, very easy to find. It'll set you up for pretty much the entire game. So we'll clear out every one of the raiders around here. Basically, Red Tourette's deal is that she's in control of the Federal Ration Stockpile, right? And this is only relevant because one of my other characters is called Lily. They kidnapped her sister, Red's sister, who is Lily, and like they're threatening to harm her, but they want her to send out food to them in exchange for not being harmed. But it's unclear whether Lily is actually alive or whether it's someone else to actually forge those things. Oh, so that's this machine. That's part of a different mod. But the reason I say this is because Red Tourette's face, although it's destroyed, if it's intact, she's got the same sort of stripe that Lily has across her face. And look, they're not related. It's just a coincidence. It's different Lily that I've got. Okay, let's get straight into it today because we've already seen this thing. And I do want to utilize the stealthy part of this as much as I possibly can. So we'll quickly get ourselves into just close enough without tripping their alarms a little bit. Never mind, it seems to be going. And then we're going to sit in a bush and just start spraying these guys, because it's not every day where I get to use a suppressed rotary heavy weapon, and today is going to be one of those days. And I guess this is the one thing that I haven't gotten out of Fallout 4 weapon mods before. And we're still in caution somehow, so we'll keep hosing down these gunners. Okay, they've spotted me because they're using explosives, and the light cast from the explosions is screwing me over there. So this is the explosive one. This is Pow Pow, which has a bizarre missile launcher thing on the side there, possibly the fire control module there. However, that does sort of get in your way almost while you're aiming. There's also very little reference of where you're actually aiming this thing. I think we've almost cleared every single gunner out at the front here, which is great. We could go with extra explosives though. Is that a hatchling? Your little baby, get out of here. And that made sense. You see that? I poked him with the big old drill bit on the front. Oh my goodness, there is actual lob here. I didn't realize there was lob. I'm having a lot of trouble hitting things with it. In fact, it's doing less damage than a plasma grenade would. So maybe if I just stop using this weapon and maybe actually use it more as a gigantic drill, I think that's probably the way to go with it. And with that level up, I suppose we'll, I guess I'll just dump my plasma cartridges that I got in it because I won't need them for anything else. We'll put them on some sort of corpse. Captain No Scope there, not having much luck. Okay, it is now a drill, and as you can see there, it is quite devastating, don't you think? And we're going to just hold this thing down, and we're not going to worry about... It is draining my AP slowly, but in power armor that wouldn't be a problem. We're just going to walk into them, just run right through them. Now, I do believe you can get extra damage through headshots with these things, so let's do that. We'll aim nice and high and just give them a nice... dental examination, and it doesn't look like they're well, it's probably not the time I bring out the doctorate in dentistry. I don't think this is good evidence to support me still being here. However, at least I'm not dead, you know. It's them or me. It's the kind of world Fallout is, and it's only doing like tiny little chips of damage per hit, but it looks like it's hitting so fast and just completely staggering them all the time, so it doesn't even matter. And we're rolling the hits constantly, so eventually I'm just gonna get a critical as I go up the fire escape twice here. It's a workout. We're doing some cardio here at Gunners Plaza today. We're not breaking a sweat in terms of danger to ourselves, I don't think. Yeah, these guys can't do anything. I think I saw 481 for the critical headshots there. I actually got him through the door. I bet he wasn't expecting that. That's what you get for poking your guns through the door like that.
Nice.
Death. And we'll just sort of juggle these two a little bit. And it is it. He can literally do nothing as he's constantly staggered in the corner like that. Alright, so I think I like the drill version of this much better than I like the version with the actual lobbing plasma projectile. So we're just going to use this as a drill for the rest. Also, if you use this thing a little bit in third person, you won't stop grunting and vibrating. You having fun there, Ayla? Okay, so this will be a two-pronged assault against the Swan. Firstly, I'm going to utilize as many sneak criticals as I possibly can, and then when all else fails, I'm bringing out the gigantic drill, and these Mirelurks are not having a good day, I don't think. We'll try to pick them up a little bit. I think we're hitting the carapace way too much to get useful damage, and you are running towards me. Not cool, bro. Stay away. Okay, he's totally seen me now. The Operation Stealth is not gone successfully today, so I'm just going to shoot these things down here, because I've been lured into this fight. That's one very brave glowing Mirelurk. Good luck to you, buddy. But the rest of them are chasing things around. There's some feral ghouls about too. That's pretty much what happens in this area. You'll find ghouls, usually, and stupid Resident Evil creatures. I think I'm going to uninstall that mod, because they don't add a lot to the game. I think I'd rather see Famished. Famished are cooler. At least I think they're from Resident Evil. I got no idea where they're from. Silent Hill, Resident Evil, they're all the bloody same to me. Scary games with zombies in them, I suppose. Oh, cool. Alright, so that's another level up. I think that's level up number 2 for this. And now, okay. Stealth, again, didn't last for very long, so I guess it's drill time. Don't do that. Swan, don't you bloody dare. Now, I'm hoping I can stagger this guy. I can't. I'm just being stomped on constantly. Okay, this is not working. So we're gonna go over here, and we'll resume Operation Stealth. Or, where's my gun? There it is. I was wondering where it went. Didn't equip for some reason. See, the other option we've got here is to just hammer him with explosive rounds as I keep hitting the wrong button for VATS there. And that's a lot of shots we can get at this thing. So sit back, watch the show as we chip away at his health at a rate which is fairly favorable, I suppose. If we had the legendary staggering effect on that drill, I think that probably would have kept him nice and staggered, just how fast it hits. That's actually Nerd Rage, so we'll switch back over to our suppressed one, try to get some headshots. Not going to make it easy. Maybe we'll sneak the bullets just under his little health, his arm thing. It's a pretty clever tactic, putting arm in front of your face like that, because those headshots would get you nasty damage, and we managed to survive all of that. Okay, we might have to do this at night, but I'm keen for this stealth minigun to work. Bear with me. Welcome to the Wendigo Hive. There's only one Wendigo. I feel like this thing's shooting faster. It sounds like it's faster in third person. Oh, he's dead. Stealth Heavy Gunner. This is why they don't have it existing in Fallout 4, because it'd just be that. It'd be too good. Too good. We wouldn't use assault rifles or combat rifles or anything. Also, I'm using nothing but the middle of the screen for a reference of where you aim. Of course, when the dust and stuff starts kicking up from the bullets landing and the impacts, that helps me out a little bit. But that's all clear. I'm going to shoot that bird. I got him! I didn't expect to do that. That was like the first shot I pulled from that burst. Anyways, I think you get the idea. This here is the Salvaged Sentry but micro gun, and it's good. It's really good. It's a nice little weapon. And guess what? It's only 7 megabytes. 7 megabytes of mod right here, and like the fun to size on your disc ratio here is through the roof. I highly recommend this mod. It's really good. Basically anything that T6M makes, just get, because it's gonna be good. It's all good. None of it is ever unbalanced. None of it is ever boring, and they all just have so much charm to them. So highly recommended. Just tell him to change his anime profile pitch. That's kind of cringe. And with that out of the way, I think that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. See ya.